Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. So, today I thought I would do another video on a budget-friendly controller. Today we are reviewing the 8BitDo, 8BitDo, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm just going to say 8BitDo. So the 8BitDo Ultimate 2C, which is what this is. Now this is... It's a wired controller, but it punches way above its price point. I thought I'd order one of these. As you might have seen by the channel, I've been doing quite a few controller reviews lately, and I've seen a lot of people on Reddit talking about 8BitDo. So I thought we'd order one, give it a shot. So this thing has Hall effect sticks, like remappable back buttons, a really nice feeling D-pad. I paid just a little over £17 on Amazon for this, but obviously it's not wireless. You can get a wireless version, but I just went for the wired one. I've got plenty of wireless controllers. So we'll go through a bit of an unboxing and then we'll take a look at it. So the box is, say, really simple. Obviously most of the boxes are for these Chinese controllers, so it comes in like a nice little bag. In the box you just get like a sort of instruction thing. No one reads that, let's face it. Like I said, comes in that little bag there, and then obviously the controller is just in here, so obviously we pop these cardboard pieces in, so the controllers slide right out. Now obviously I have had this out of the box obviously to make sure it works and everything, and it does, it's perfectly fine to be honest. So obviously it has these to protect the analog sticks, and then it has a little sticky sort of plastic thing over the face buttons. So this is the controller here. I will throw in some B-roll of the controller so you can have more of a look at it. So let's get into the design and sort of build side of the controller, like sort of that sort of thing. So it's quite a small controller. Like if I compare it to my G5 Pro by Nike, this has got more of an Xbox controller feel to it. This is slightly, like, there's less of a sort of, it sticks out less like that. I don't know if you can really tell the difference. So it's a little bit narrower, but it still feels great in the hands. It's got a matte finish to it, obviously like a glossy face buttons. And then obviously I picked it in the colour where it's got the orange analog sticks, because I think it's a really nice colour scheme, to be honest. It's like a mint green with orange. So they call it their retro modern vibe. I quite like the look of it, to be honest. You can also get it in multiple other colours. There's like a pastel pink, a purple, a field green, so on and so forth. So like I said, this is obviously a wired controller, as you can see here. It's a USB Type-C. The cable was in the box, but you don't really want to see a cable. It's just your typical cable. It's about 1.5 meters long, just your typical USB Type-C. It's a lightweight controller, like it's a lot lighter than my G5 Pro, but it's not hollow feeling. It's quite a premium feeling controller. Like it's got a nice texture sort of on the back. The sticks, obviously they feel great because they're your typical Hall effect sort of sticks. The face buttons feel completely fine. The triggers are also Hall effect And they have a really nice shape to them, because as you can see, there's like they're like contoured, so your finger sits in them really well. But then they have that proper little flick at the end, so you can sort of give it a little tap or a little flick. The shoulder buttons are probably one of my favourite parts of this controller. I think they have micro switches under them. You might be able to hear the clicks. So I think they're micro switch shoulder buttons. Then you have your typical like pause button, start button, whatever, so on and so forth. The D-pad, it's not the best feeling D-pad I've ever seen, but it's not terrible either. I'd say it's probably on par with like my G5 Pro's D-pad, but it's very like retro looking for a D-pad. So yeah, like all in all, it's a nice sort of feeling controller. In regards to the sticks, obviously Hall effect means no stick drift, because they basically use magnets instead of a potentiometer to tell where the stick is, and magnets can't get stick drift. Now, the one thing I will say is like I still don't understand why people are still buying Xbox, like Microsoft branded Xbox controllers, like the official controllers, or PlayStation ones for Sony or whatever, because like they're charging 45, like I'm talking normal controllers, not like Xbox Elite controller, like they're charging 45 to 55 pounds for a controller that has just generic sticks that will get drift within a year or two. Whereas I picked this up for, I mean, this doesn't work with console, let me just get that out there first. These are literally PC only controllers, but if you're on PC, why would you pay 45 to 55 for an official controller when you can pick this up for 17? Like, yeah, so, yeah, triggers obviously analog, and then there is 2 remappable back buttons. Now most people would suspect that they are here, like on most controllers, like they even are on my Machinike, as you can see, but they're actually not. They're actually beside the triggers, here and here, which I found really weird at first, but to be honest, when you're using it, it's actually nicer, because instead of having to sort of flick your middle fingers onto them buttons, you can literally just move your index fingers across to switch between them. So I actually prefer this design. Now it has like, yeah, it's one of those controllers. This obviously works with PC, doesn't work with console, works with Steam Deck, obviously, so like Windows, Steam Deck, it even works with Raspberry Pi, it will connect with Steam. This one though doesn't have iOS or Switch support, but like I said, if you're Windows, Android, Steam Deck, you're perfectly fine with this thing. 8BitDo do have software for this controller to adjust sticks to the stick sensitivity. I'm not going to bother showing the software, because once you've seen one controller software, you've seen them all. So you can adjust like the sensitivity of the sticks, you can remap like these buttons here, and the face buttons, and save profiles and stuff like that. Most players won't ever really use anything like that, they just sort of buy a pad, plug it in and play a game. So yeah, there's not a lot more left to say really. It's a pretty simple controller as controllers go, but it's a really nice controller, especially for the price. So we'll quickly go through like the pros and cons of it, and then give a final verdict sort of thing. So the pros, I'd say, obviously the Hall effect sticks. I'd say the D-pad is nice enough to be a pro for this controller. Some D-pads can feel a bit mushy. This one's decent. So good sticks, good D-pad, remappable back buttons if you're into that kind of thing. I never really use it. And obviously the price, like £17 for a controller compared to the 45, 55, 65 pound you can pay for controllers. The downsides, doesn't really have many. I would say one is that it's wired, but you can get a wireless version, so It's not really a downside, it's just I wanted this version. There's no vibration in this controller or motion controls, which you might think is a bit weird that there's no rumble motors in it, but that is what it is. I suppose if you're after playing shooter games or something, you're probably best off looking for something else. And there's no console support for like Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, but most of the controllers I review don't have support for console because obviously I'm a PC channel, so all the controllers I'm buying are for use on PC. But all in all, it's one of them. So I suppose final verdict, 8BitDo. This is the first controller I've had by them, but I'd say it's lived up to what I've read on Reddit in different reviews. If you don't care about wireless really, and you're after a decent PC controller that's, I suppose, reliable, I'd pick one of these up. Like I said, £17, or if you're in the US, they're about $30. It's a simple controller, but it gets the fundamentals right of being a controller, which some of the bigger companies could do with learning a thing or two about. So, like I said, if you're in the market for a cheap controller for playing on your PC or your Steam Deck or whatever, go have a look at the 8BitDo. I will leave a link in the description below to the Amazon page where I picked this up. Obviously, that will only be an Amazon UK page. If you're in the US and you're watching this video, go on your Amazon, just type in 8BitDo Ultimate 2C, and you'll find loads of them, multiple different colours. So yeah, I'll leave this video here for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what controller you're using and whether you'd be open to trying the 2C. Hit the like on the video. Please consider hitting the subscribe because we're so close to the hours we need to get the channel monetized. We're just not close on subscribers. I will catch you all in the next video.